The morning started like any other at Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station in Nevada. The giant radar dishes turned slowly against the clear blue sky, scanning the vast emptiness of space. But at exactly 9:47 a.m. Earth Standard Time, everything changed. Tom, the lead radar technician, nearly spilled his coffee when the first readings came in. He blinked twice, cleaned his glasses, and looked again at the screen. The readings remained the same. "Sir," he called out, his voice shaking slightly, "you need to see this." Within minutes, the control room filled with scientists and military personnel. The readings showed thousands of objects, larger than anything humans had ever built, moving into the solar system at speeds that seemed impossible. Admiral James Thompson arrived 2 hours later. He stood tall, his gray hair neatly trimmed, and his blue uniform decorated with medals from years of service. But today, those medals felt heavier than ever. "Show me everything," he ordered, his voice steady despite the chaos around him. The main screen lit up with images from space telescopes. The objects were clearly ships, warships. They moved with perfect precision, like a well-trained army. Their dark metal hulls absorbed light rather than reflecting it, making them look like moving holes in space. "How many?" Thompson asked. "We've counted over 3,000 ships, sir," replied the chief analyst. "The smallest one is bigger than anything we've ever built. The largest," she paused, double-checking her calculations, "the largest is about the size of Manhattan." Thompson walked closer to the screen, studying the formation. 20 years in the military had taught him to recognize a battle formation when he saw one. These ships weren't exploring. They were positioning themselves for something bigger. "Where are they stopping?" he asked, though he already suspected the answer. "Just beyond Mars' orbit, sir. They'll reach their position in approximately 6 hours." The admiral nodded slowly. He had trained all his life for war, but not like this. Earth's combined military forces had only 50 spacecraft capable of space combat. Against 3,000 alien warships, they might as well be throwing rocks. The next few hours passed in a blur of activity. Every military base on Earth went into high alert. World leaders gathered in emergency meetings. Social media exploded with grainy photos and videos of the alien ships, visible now even to amateur astronomers. Thompson stood at the window of the command center, looking up at the evening sky. Somewhere up there, an alien force waited. Their ships carried enough firepower to turn Earth's surface to glass. He thought about his family, about all families on Earth, about everything humanity had built and achieved. The intercom crackled. "Sir, we're detecting energy readings from the fleet. They're powering up their communication systems." "Put it on the main screen," Thompson ordered, turning away from the window. The screen flickered, showing a map of the solar system. The alien fleet appeared as a massive cluster of red dots, surrounding Earth's orbital path like a noose. Their formation was perfect, too perfect. This wasn't their first invasion. "Sir," called out one of the technicians, "we're analyzing their technology based on the energy signatures. The level of advancement. It's beyond anything we theorized possible. These ships could have come from the other side of the galaxy." Thompson's mind raced. An empire capable of crossing the galaxy would have conquered countless worlds. Earth would just be another conquest to them, another dot on their star maps. "Get me the Secretary of Defense," he said finally, "and contact every major military command on Earth. Tell them." He paused, looking once more at the screen showing the massive alien fleet. "Tell them to prepare for the most important moment in human history." As the sun set over the Nevada desert, the giant radar dishes continued their silent watch. Above them, invisible to the naked eye, but clear on every sensor, the alien armada waited. The next few hours would determine the fate of humanity. Humanity's first contact with alien life hadn't come with a greeting of peace. It had come with a show of overwhelming force. But Admiral Thompson knew one thing for certain. As long as humans had existed, they had faced impossible odds. And somehow, They had always found a way to survive. The message came exactly at midnight. Every screen on Earth, from military computers to household TVs, from smartphones to digital billboards, suddenly showed the same image. A tall figure stood against a backdrop of stars, wearing armor that seemed to absorb light itself. "People of Earth," the figure spoke in perfect English, its voice deep and commanding. "I am Commander Marcus Rex of the Galactic Empire. You have 48 hours to surrender your world." Admiral Thompson watched from the command center, his hands gripped tightly behind his back. The alien commander's face looked almost human, but something about his eyes seemed wrong. Too cold, too calculating. "Your planet," Rex continued, "sits at the junction of 3 major hyperlanes, vital trade routes that the Empire needs. We have conquered 1,000 worlds across 100 galaxies. Your surrender will ensure your survival. Resistance." He paused, his lips curling into a slight smile. Resistance would be unfortunate. The message repeated in every major language on Earth. In New York, people stood frozen in Times Square, watching the giant screens. In Tokyo, crowds gathered in the streets, their faces lit by the glow of the broadcast. In every city, in every country, humanity faced the same threat. "Sir," a young lieutenant approached Thompson, "we're detecting energy readings from their fleet. They're powering up weapons." Thompson nodded slowly. "A demonstration is coming. They want to show us exactly what we're facing." As if on cue, a bright beam shot from one of the smaller ships in the alien fleet. It struck the moon's surface, carving a crater visible from Earth. The message was clear. They could do the same to any city on Earth. "Get me a secure line to all world leaders," Thompson ordered. "And someone find out how they're controlling our communications." The next hour passed in a blur of emergency meetings. On screens around the world, experts debated the situation. Though there wasn't much to debate. The alien fleet's technology was centuries ahead of Earth's best defenses. "We can't fight them," the Chinese general said during the emergency UN meeting. "Their smallest ship could destroy our entire space fleet." "But we can't just surrender," argued the Russian president. "Look at their commander's eyes. Does anyone think they'll actually spare us?" Thompson studied the tactical displays. The alien fleet had positioned itself perfectly, covering every possible approach to Earth. They had probably done this hundreds of times before, conquering world after world with the same efficient precision. "Admiral," a technician called out, "we're receiving another transmission. Private channel this time, just for military command." The screen lit up again, showing Commander Rex's face in greater detail. His skin had a slight metallic sheen, suggesting extensive cybernetic enhancements. "Admiral Thompson," Rex smiled. "I understand you're the highest-ranking military officer on Earth. I thought we should talk, soldier to soldier." "About what?" Thompson kept his voice steady. "About reality. Your planet has no chance. We've studied your history, constant wars, divided nations, primitive technology. You haven't even colonized your own solar system yet. Save your people the suffering. Surrender." Thompson looked around the command center. Young faces looked back at him, scared but determined. Throughout human history, there had always been empires that thought themselves invincible. They had all fallen eventually. "You say you've studied our history," Thompson replied. "Then you should know something. Humans don't surrender well. Especially not to bullies with big ships." Rex's smile faded. "You have 47 hours left. Use them wisely." The transmission cut off. In the silence that followed, Thompson turned to his staff. "Get me everything we have on quantum physics research. Every project, every theory, even the stuff that sounds crazy. If we're going to survive this, we need something they haven't seen before." Outside, the night sky seemed darker than usual, filled with invisible ships carrying enough firepower to end human civilization. But humans had faced extinction before. Each time, they had survived, adapted, and grown stronger. The clock was ticking. Earth had 47 hours to find a miracle. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a secret research facility known only to a handful of people, Dr. Alice Cooper hadn't slept in 36 hours. Her lab coat was wrinkled, and empty coffee cups littered her desk. But she barely noticed. The readings on her screen were too important. "It's not possible," she muttered, running the calculations again. "The energy signature can't be this strong." For the past 5 years, her team had been studying something extraordinary, a strange energy pattern coming from Earth's core. Most scientists had dismissed it as natural geological activity, but Alice knew better. The pattern was too regular, too structured. Her phone buzzed. Admiral Thompson's name appeared on the screen. "Tell me you have something," he said without greeting. "We have 32 hours left." "Sir." Alice's voice shook with excitement. "I think I know why Earth has never been successfully invaded. Why every extinction-level event somehow failed to kill us all." She pulled up the historical data on her screen. Remember the dinosaur-killing asteroid? It should have ended all life. But somehow, life survived. The Black Death should have killed everyone in Europe. But people survived. Every nuclear close call during the Cold War somehow avoided disaster. "Doctor," Thompson's voice was tired. "What are you saying?" "We're not alone," she replied. "We never were. Something is protecting us. Something left here by them." The screen in her lab suddenly lit up with a new reading. The energy signature from Earth's core was getting stronger. "Sir, can you come to the facility? There's something you need to see." 2 hours later, Admiral Thompson stood in Alice's lab, staring at the complex diagrams and readings covering the screens. "Explain it simply," he ordered. Alice pointed to a 3D model of Earth's core. "There's a machine down there. Ancient, incredibly powerful. But it's not just a machine. It's connected to us, to all humans." She pulled up brain scan data. "Look at these patterns. They match the energy signature perfectly. Whatever this thing is, it's linked to human consciousness itself. And now," she pointed to the latest readings, "now it's waking up." "Why now?" Thompson asked. "Because we're all feeling the same thing," Alice explained. "Fear, determination, the will to survive. Billions of humans, all focused on the same threat. It's powering up the system." A loud beep came from one of the monitors. New data poured across the screen. "It's showing us how to use it," Alice whispered. "The system. It's teaching us." Thompson watched as symbols and equations filled the screens. He didn't understand the math, but he understood what it meant. Earth wasn't defenseless. It never had been. "How long until you can activate it?" he asked. "That's the thing," Alice said, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's already active. It always has been. We just never needed its full power before." She brought up a new image, a map of human population centers around the world. Each one glowed with a faint energy signature. "Every human being is connected to this network," she explained. "We're all part of it. The system doesn't just protect Earth, it protects us. And we power it. Every human thought, every emotion, every moment of determination in the face of impossible odds. It all feeds into the system." Thompson stared at the map, watching the energy patterns pulse like a heartbeat. "Can it stop their fleet?" "Sir," Alice smiled, "I don't think their fleet has ever seen anything like this. The Empire thinks they're the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. But they're wrong. Someone came before them. Someone far more powerful. And they left their legacy to us." Outside the facility, the sun was rising over the mountains. Somewhere up there, Commander Rex waited for Earth's surrender, confident in his Empire's power. He had no idea that Earth's real power lay not in its weapons or technology, but in the billions of human minds that called it home. "Contact the world leaders," Thompson ordered. "Tell them we have a message to send to the Empire." The clock showed 29 hours until the deadline. But for the first time since the fleet arrived, Earth had hope. Admiral Thompson stood in front of the global broadcast system, straightening his uniform one last time. The room was silent except for the soft hum of computers. Behind him, Dr. Cooper made final adjustments to the transmission equipment. "All channels are ready," she said. "Every screen on Earth will carry this, and the signal will reach their fleet." Thompson nodded. They had 24 hours left before the Empire's deadline. His message needed to be perfect, not just firm, but backed by the power they had discovered. Broadcasting in 3, 2, 1. Thompson looked directly into the camera. "Commander Rex of the Galactic Empire, this is Admiral Thompson of Earth. We have considered your demand for surrender. Our answer is simple. Leave our solar system. Now." In the Empire's command ship, Rex watched the transmission with amusement. His officers exchanged smirks. They had heard defiant speeches before, from 100 dying worlds. But Thompson wasn't finished. "You believe you know Earth. You believe you understand humanity. You are wrong." The screens flickered. Data began streaming alongside Thompson's image. Historical records, scientific readings, evidence of humanity's countless brushes with extinction. 65 million years ago, an asteroid struck Earth with enough force to kill most life. We survived. 14,000 years ago, a massive comet nearly froze our planet. We survived. Plagues, wars, disasters, everything that should have killed us made us stronger. Dr. Cooper activated the ancient system's data feed. Energy readings from Earth's core began appearing on the Empire's screens. Their scientists suddenly stopped smirking. "We possess something you don't understand," Thompson continued. "Something older than your empire. Something more powerful than your fleet." In orbit, the Empire's sensors detected a strange energy field beginning to form around Earth. Their most advanced scanners couldn't identify its source or nature. "Look at our history." Thompson's voice grew stronger. "Every invasion has failed. Every attempt to conquer us has been defeated. This is not luck. This is not coincidence." The energy readings were now off the charts. Rex's science officer frantically checked the data, his face growing pale. "My lord," he whispered to Rex, "these energy patterns, they're identical to the legends. The ones about the first race." Rex's confident smile vanished. Everyone in the Empire knew those legends, stories of an ancient civilization that had ruled the galaxy long ago, whose technology had been beyond anything even the Empire could achieve. "You see it now, don't you?" Thompson asked. "Earth isn't just another planet. It's something far more important, and we are not just another species to be conquered." Dr. Cooper activated the final sequence. Around the world, billions of humans felt a strange sensation, a connection, a unity they had never experienced before. The ancient system was showing them their true potential. "This is not a plea for mercy," Thompson declared. "This is not a negotiation. This is your one and only warning. Leave Earth. Tell your empire what you found here. Tell them why you left." The energy field around Earth was now visible to the naked eye, a shimmering barrier of pure power, fueled by the combined will of humanity. "You have 1 hour to begin your retreat," Thompson finished. "After that, we will demonstrate exactly what we can do. And unlike you, Commander Rex, we don't make empty threats." The transmission ended. In the broadcast room, Thompson let out a long breath. Dr. Cooper's equipment showed the energy field holding steady, powered by billions of human minds now awakened to their connection with the ancient system. "Think they'll listen?" she asked. Thompson watched the tactical display, showing the massive Empire fleet still in position. "They'll either leave as the smartest empire in the galaxy," he said, "or they'll stay and learn why no one has ever successfully conquered Earth." The clock was ticking. In 1 hour, humanity would either face its greatest battle or witness its greatest victory. Either way, the galaxy was about to learn that Earth was far more than it appeared to be. The hour passed. Commander Rex's fleet hadn't moved. Instead, they had repositioned their weapons, targeting Earth's major cities. The Empire wasn't used to receiving warnings. They gave them. In the underground facility, Dr. Cooper watched the final countdown. "They're not leaving, Admiral." Thompson nodded grimly. "Then we show them why they should have." He pressed the facility's intercom button. "All stations, begin the demonstration." Around the world, people felt a gentle warmth spread through their minds. The ancient defense system, dormant for millions of years, was now fully awake. Every human on Earth became part of something greater, a network of consciousness that powered the planet's true defenses. "Energy levels rising," Dr. Cooper reported, watching her screens. "The system is drawing power from every human mind, not just their electrical impulses, their thoughts, their determination, their will to survive." In space, the Empire's fleet detected something strange. Their sensors showed an energy field expanding from Earth, different from anything they had encountered in their conquests of 1,000 worlds. Commander Rex stood on his bridge, watching the field approach. "Fire main weapons," he ordered. "Show them what happens to worlds that defy the Empire." Massive energy beams shot from the fleet's largest ships, powerful enough to crack a planet's crust. But when they hit Earth's new energy field, something impossible happened. The beams stopped. "Sir," Rex's weapons officer shouted, "our attacks, they're being absorbed." The energy field had turned golden, pulsing with power. Dr. Cooper's readings went off the scale. "It's working," she exclaimed. "The system isn't just blocking their attacks, it's using their own energy against them." Thompson watched as the Empire's weapons actually strengthened Earth's defenses. Each attack made the field grow stronger, fueled by both the Empire's energy and humanity's collective will. "Second phase," he ordered. Dr. Cooper typed rapidly on her console. The golden field began to expand, moving toward the Empire's fleet. When it reached the first ships, their systems began to fail. "What's happening?" Rex demanded, as warning lights flashed across his bridge. "Report." "My lord," his science officer's voice shook, "our systems are shutting down. The field, it's not just an energy barrier. It's like it's alive. Learning, adapting. It knows exactly how to disable our technology." Ship after ship lost power. The mighty Empire fleet, capable of destroying entire solar systems, was being systematically shut down by an energy field they couldn't understand. On Earth, Dr. Cooper explained what they were seeing. The ancient system isn't just about defense. It's connected to human consciousness because it learns like we do, adapts like we do, survives like we do. Across the Empire's fleet, engines died. Weapons went dark. Even life support systems began to fail. The golden field held them in its grip, demonstrating power beyond their comprehension. Commander Rex watched his mighty fleet floating helpless in space. For the first time in his long career of conquest, he felt fear. The intercom crackled. Admiral Thompson's voice filled every powerless ship. "This is your second warning, Commander. We could disable your life support completely. We could trap your fleet in this field forever. Instead, we're giving you a choice." The field pulsed once, and emergency power returned to the Empire's ships, just enough for retreat. "Leave," Thompson continued. "Leave and tell your Empire what you found here. Tell them about the power Earth possesses. Tell them about the humans who wield it." In the command center, Dr. Cooper's readings showed the field holding steady, powered by billions of human minds working as one. "The system's power is still growing," she reported. "We're not even close to its full potential." Rex looked at his dead weapons, his powerless engines, his mighty fleet reduced to floating metal. He had come to conquer a primitive world. Instead, he had awakened something ancient and powerful. "All ships," he ordered, his voice heavy with defeat, "set course out of the solar system." The Empire's fleet retreated, leaving Earth's orbit under the watchful eye of its golden shield. Humanity had done more than survive. They had shown the galaxy their true strength. 3 days after the Empire's retreat, Dr. Cooper made another discovery. As she studied the ancient defense system, new information began appearing on her screens, not in numbers or data, but in images and symbols. "Admiral," she called Thompson, her voice trembling with excitement. "You need to see this. The system, it's showing us our history, our real history." When Thompson arrived at the facility, the main screen displayed a series of images that looked like memories. They showed a civilization far more advanced than anything humanity had achieved, or even anything the Empire possessed. "It's a message," Dr. Cooper explained, "left for us millions of years ago. We're not just random inhabitants of Earth, we're their descendants. The first race, the ones who ruled the galaxy before the Empire was even born." The images showed massive cities that stretched into space, ships that could cross galaxies in moments, and technology that could reshape planets. But they also showed danger, a great catastrophe approaching their civilization. "They knew they couldn't survive," Dr. Cooper continued, translating the symbols, "but they could preserve their legacy. They chose Earth, then a young planet, as their final project." Thompson watched as the story unfolded on the screen. The first race had seeded Earth with life, guiding evolution itself. They built the defense system into the planet's core, connecting it to the DNA of the species they hoped would one day inherit their power: humans. Every time humanity faced extinction, Dr. Cooper said, the system activated just enough to ensure our survival. But it never showed us its full power until now, until we were ready. More data streamed across the screens: star maps, technical blueprints, scientific knowledge beyond Earth's current understanding. The first race had left humanity everything they knew, waiting for the day their children would be mature enough to claim it. This is why the Empire retreated so quickly, Thompson realized. Their legends about the first race, they weren't just stories. They knew what they were facing when they saw that energy field. Dr. Cooper nodded. The Empire built their technology by scavenging ruins and reverse engineering ancient artifacts. But she smiled, we have the source. We're the rightful heirs. In the facility's main hall, scientists and military leaders gathered to watch as more of Earth's true history was revealed. The defense system wasn't just a weapon, it was a key to humanity's birthright. "Look at this," Dr. Cooper pointed to new symbols appearing. "The system didn't just protect us. It was testing us, waiting to see if we would develop the right qualities to handle its power." "What qualities?" Thompson asked. "Unity in the face of threats. Determination to survive. The ability to work together despite our differences." She brought up images of human history, times when people from different nations and cultures had come together to face common challenges. When we faced the Empire united, ready to defend our world together, we passed the final test. Now it's showing us everything, teaching us who we really are. Thompson stared at the star maps, showing the vast territory the first race once controlled. The Empire won't stay away forever. When they return, Dr. Cooper finished, they'll find a very different Earth. The system is teaching us how to use our inheritance, not just for defense, but for everything. Clean energy, space travel, healing technology. The first race left us all of it. Outside the facility, the sun set over the mountains. Somewhere in space, the Empire's fleet was carrying news of their defeat back to their capital. They had come expecting to find a primitive world. Instead, they had awakened the children of the most powerful civilization the galaxy had ever known. "Send word to every government," Thompson ordered. "Tell them to prepare for change. Humanity just got a promotion from planetary civilization to galactic inheritors." The ancient defense system hummed quietly beneath their feet, its golden energy field still surrounding Earth, not just protecting humanity now, but teaching them, preparing them for their destiny among the stars. 1 month after the Empire's retreat, Earth had changed more than it had in the past 1,000 years. The ancient defense system hadn't just protected humanity. It had started teaching them. Admiral Thompson stood at the window of the new Global Space Command, watching as the first of Earth's new ships took shape in orbit. They weren't built in traditional shipyards. Instead, they grew like living things, guided by the same golden energy that had driven away the Empire's fleet. Beautiful, aren't they? Dr. Cooper joined him at the window. She looked different now, more confident, her eyes bright with the knowledge the system had shared. The first race designed them to be extensions of human consciousness, just like the defense system. Below them, in cities across the world, golden towers had begun to rise. They'd brought with them clean energy, advanced medical care, and technology that seemed like magic to people who, just a month ago, had been worried about electric bills and gas prices. "Any word from our deep space monitors?" Thompson asked. Dr. Cooper nodded. "The Empire's been busy. They're spreading the word about Earth. Some of their subject worlds have already sent messages asking for freedom. They remember the old legends about the first race, and now they know who inherited their power." Through the facility's computers, they could feel Earth's defense system humming contentedly. It was like a parent watching their children take their first steps into a larger world. Every day, more humans learn to connect with it, discovering abilities they never knew they had. "The public seems to be handling it well," Thompson observed, watching news feeds showing people learning to use their new technological gifts. "They are," Dr. Cooper agreed. "Maybe because deep down, we always knew we were meant for more. Every human dream of reaching the stars, every story about magic and supernatural powers, they were memories buried in our DNA, waiting to wake up." An alert sounded softly. One of the new sensors had detected something approaching Earth. Not the Empire this time, but representatives from worlds that had once been allies of the first race. They came not to fight, but to welcome humanity into the galactic community. "Ready to greet our first peaceful visitors?" Thompson asked. Dr. Cooper smiled. "Almost. There's one thing left to do first." They took the elevator down to the heart of the facility, where the interface with Earth's defense system glowed with soft golden light. The room was filled with scientists and leaders from around the world, all gathered for this moment. "The system has been teaching us about our heritage." Dr. Cooper addressed the crowd. "Now it's time for us to take our first real step forward, not just as nations, but as the united human race." She placed her hand on the interface. Around the world, billions of humans felt the connection strengthen. The defense system had shown them how to defend themselves. Now it would show them how to grow. Golden light filled the room as new knowledge flowed into human minds across the planet. Not weapons or defenses this time, but understanding. Of life, of the universe, of their place in it. The first race had left them everything they would need to become guardians of peace in the galaxy, not conquerors like the Empire. "Look," Thompson pointed to the screens showing Earth from orbit. The golden energy field had changed, becoming a soft glow that encompassed the planet like a warm embrace. It wasn't just a shield anymore, it was a beacon, telling the galaxy that humanity had finally claimed their inheritance. Dr. Cooper looked at the star maps showing the vast galaxy that waited for them. "The Empire thought they were coming to conquer a primitive world," she said. "Instead, they woke up the sleeping giants of the galaxy." "Not giants," Thompson corrected her, watching as the first of Earth's new ships prepared for its maiden voyage. "Guardians, just like our ancestors before us." As the sun rose over Earth that morning, humanity looked to the stars not with fear, but with understanding. They had faced their greatest challenge and discovered their greatest truth. They were never meant to be conquered. They were meant to lead the galaxy into a new age of peace and discovery, just as the first race had planned all along. The end was really just the beginning.